And so here we are, another day, another rant. I'm Suzanne Titkemeyer from No Longer Quivering, and today I need to talk about Donald Trump and the evangelicals. Why? Because yesterday morning, through last night, through now, I have been watching all these Christians, quote Christians, that I know here in Tamarindo and elsewhere talking about reopening, which is all well and good, but what they're talking about with reopening is just, to me, it's just it's not just frightening, it's dangerous. I'm sorry, I suddenly been hit with sinuses the second I turn this on. I do apologize. Here's what I want to say. Evangelicals have supported Donald Trump for eons. And we've seen that. We've seen them doing this since the first time he ran. And it doesn't even make sense because he says and does so many things that are completely divorced from anything that the evangelical quiverful people say that they believe in. He's tried to have women have abortions. He's 3 times married with infidelity on all 3 wives. Just so many awful things. But I think that this cuddle bug, as Jimmy Snow likes to call it, or coronavirus, the virus of the beer, has really exposed a whole new layer of crazy. I'm seeing so many people calling for the reopening of everything in society, and we're nowhere near ready for that. If they do that, we're going to end up with a second wave, just like it happened with the 1819 influenza pandemic and the pandemic from 1793, where they had yellow fever came through the U.S. And there's been a number of yellow fever epidemics, but each time we have one of these pandemics and people throw away the masks or try to recongregate, what happens is we get a second and then a third wave of deaths. I think we're about to, you can quote me on this, but I think we're about to see a second wave coming soon. I'm seeing more and more people here where I live in Tamarindo that are throwing away their masks and unmasking and acting like this is completely over when it is not. We actually do still have people here with COVID-19. Granted, we don't have the number that the U.S. has. They've now topped 100,000 people dead, which is just a disgrace in my opinion. If Trump had acted earlier, it would be a much lower number. I'm convinced of it. But saying that we need to reopen the economy because people are going to go broke means we need to look at the economy and figure out how to change that to keep that from happening. I mean, is it a universal income for everybody? There are better options in reopening and letting the sick and the elderly die. They're perfectly fine with allowing the sick and the elderly to die, yet they are screeching about abortion, killing little unborn babies. They're against that, but they're for killing those of us that have pre-existing conditions. That is the most effed up thing I've heard in a very long time, and I'm seeing more and more of this. More people demanding the reopening, more people refusing to mask, refusing to do everything else. Our history shows us that if we don't take this seriously, it will come back. It'll be another wave. More people will die. I'm not in love with masking. I do mask. I've masked before this, before my asthma. I'm probably going to mask afterwards. Well, probably. I will mask afterwards because it's easier than using my wind filter. Even here in Tamarindo, you can get N95 masks and other kinds of masks pretty easily at the Automercado. So it's not even a issue of not being able to get the masks. People just don't want to do anything to inconvenience themselves, particularly Christians. They seem to think this is some kind of right of theirs to go around infecting everybody and spreading disease. There's no right. I mean, if you look at the teachings of Jesus in the Bible, I can just see him going ham on a few of these people that are insisting we reopen. I mean, there's a reason he got pissed off and tore the temple and tore up everything in the temple when people were selling stuff and trading. I can see him doing the same thing with people that are insisting that we reopen. And to see the lies that are floating around right now about COVID-19, the lies about masks, the lies about the oxygen levels, the lies about how you can make yourself sicker by wearing a mask, and about you're going to get infected if you wear a mask. That is just ridiculous. Those are all of them have been debunked by the CDC, the WHO, Johns Hopkins, Mayo Clinic, many legitimate places. But none of these Christian, evangelical, quiverful people could be bothered to bother with anything else but their own damn comfort. Vote Trump out, please, this fall. I'm voting against him. And everybody in this household is. I don't even care who you vote for at this point. Whether you vote for a Kraken or the garbage can down the street, anybody is going to be better than what we have right now. Putting millions of people's lives at risk. I don't doubt we're going to see millions dead by the time this whole thing is over with because of the way it's been treated. But just look at the way that he promoted hydroxychloroquine is the answer. And it turns out it makes people more likely to die if you take it. And we find out that he is promoting this because he owns stock in the company that makes it. This is exactly who we do not need as president. Somebody that always puts their own financial self-interest first. That is not at all what the U.S. stands for. That is not what the presidency stands for. And it's disgusting that the Republican Party now panders to this nonsense. Anyway, I should go. I should stop ranting like I'm an old lady standing on a soapbox in the middle of the street ranting about this stuff. I'm just head up today. Like I said last night, saying good Christians I know here saying that we all need to die. It's just too much for me. Anyway, y'all have a good day. I think I'm going to have to stay offline today. It has just been too much lately. Too crazy.